I've cracked a code on how to handle student misbehavior like a pro. Say goodbye to classroom disruptions. Alright, let's dive into the world of classroom management and tackle the issue of student misbehavior. Have you ever wondered how just prevalent this problem is in our schools today? Well, brace yourself because statistics show that student misbehavior in the classroom is on the rise, affecting teachers and students alike. Now let's zoom in on the topic of dealing with student misbehavior in the classroom. This is a crucial aspect of education that cannot be overlooked. Teachers face various challenges from disruptions and disrespect to outright defiance from students. It is a tough matter to deal with, but with the right strategies, it can be managed effectively. So how do we handle these challenging behaviors? One key approach is to set clear expectations from get-go. By establishing boundaries and rules, students know what is expected of them, creating a more conducive learning environment. Additionally, implementing positive reinforcement can work wonders in encouraging good behavior and discouraging the bad. Let me now talk about the best practices for managing disruptive behavior. Number 1, effective prevention. Establishing norms helps you prevent disruptive behavior and allows you to react effectively in the moment. In addition to utilizing your syllabus to create academic expectations, you can also utilize it to create classroom behavioral expectations. Factors that constitute appropriate and inappropriate behavior are often dependent on the school, but most schools have found the following to be helpful. Outline both productive and disruptive types of behavior. Outline the process by which disruptive behavior will be addressed. Outline the consequences for ongoing disruptive behavior. Verbally address the classroom expectations regarding behavior on the first day of class. It is especially effective to talk about the behavior that you want to see as well as the type that is disruptive. Model the type of behavior you expect from the class. Let us now look at how you can respond to a disruption in the moment. Your direct intervention will work for a majority of situations. However, some students and situations are ongoing and will require additional consultation and follow-up. It is important to remember that if disruption causes immediate concern for personal safety, do not hesitate to call for additional backup. Let us now look at what to do when you deal with a disruption in the moment. Stay calm and listen to students' concerns. Identifying the catalyst for disruption can help you deal with the situation in the moment or in a later meeting. Be steady, consistent, and firm. Acknowledge the feelings of the individual. Remember that disruptive behavior is often caused by stress or frustrations. Address disruptive behavior individually, directly, and immediately. Be specific about the behavior that is disruptive and set limits. Remove the student from that class session if the student does not comply with your actions. Ask the student to see you later to address the disruptions. Ask the student to see you after the class to address the disruptions. Explore the causes of the incident and discuss appropriate behavior. Pay attention to warning signs that the situation is nearing escalation towards violence. Be aware of your own limits. Operate within your scope of comfort. Let us now look at what to avoid when dealing with a disruption. Do not allow the behavior to continue. Avoid making it a class issue. Address directly the student who is causing disruption. Avoid argument or shouting match. Do not blame or ridicule the student or use sarcasm. Do not touch the student. I have the following suggestions for intervening in a disruption. Keep your focus on the student. If a student talks in the class and disrupts the class, tell him or her to stop it. Be clear about the behavior. If a student is talking out of turn, ask them if they have a question and tell them that you will set aside time for discussions and debate after the teaching session. Nip the situation in the bud. If it means you'll have to ask the student to stop talking again, do it. And if they continue, you'll have to ask them to leave the class. Distress is often the cause of a disruption. It is important to recognize the stress while still addressing the behavior. If you need to ask the student to leave, do so clearly and directly. I have the following best classroom management strategies to implement in your classroom to avoid disruption. Number 1, model ideal behavior. Demonstrating an ideal behavior in front of students will attract them to develop it within themselves. Number 2, build relationships with students. Every great teacher always works on building a healthy and respectful relationship with students. Students behave better in front of the teachers they like and respect the most. Number 3, lead by example. The human mind is more responsive to actions instead of words. Hence, include all your teaching with appropriate examples, as it allows the students to learn everything better. You should also ask them to showcase active participation within the classroom to make learning more interesting. Number 4, take students' help in documenting the rules. As a prominent classroom management technique, you should also take the help of the students to establish the guidelines. When they create the rules and regulations, it significantly increases the chances of getting them obeyed. These conversations will build a better teacher-student relationship, especially with the new teachers. Number 5, focus on their social emotional well-being. Social emotional well-being is one of the most underrated approaches. However, research showcases its various benefits in terms of students' positive outcomes. Number 6, encourage initiatives and provide rewards. Everyone needs a little push in a classroom full of emerging young and creative minds. You should encourage students to come out of their comfort zone and take action. Number 7, make learning exciting. Last but not least, you should try every single day not to make the studies become monotonous for the students. Even minor things like your tone of your voice matter when making the studies exciting. Also keep your learning filled with real-life examples and visuals to keep boredom from overwhelming your classes. Number 8, make positive communication. Keep your students happy by pleasing their parents with surprising phone calls and emails. When parents get to know about their child's progress, it creates an overwhelming atmosphere. Moreover, it also encourages the students to perform better in the classroom. Number 9, engage with students on one-to-one basis. As a teacher, you should also connect with your student at an interpersonal level. Plus, you will also understand the strengths and weaknesses in academics and life to help them grow. There are always some students in the classes that create problems. You'll have to treat them carefully, otherwise they will become hard-headed. Implement creative ways to deal with bad behavior, such as making it clear in the classroom to demonstrate to others that such behavior won't be acceptable. Number 11, make preparation for every class. Responsible teachers should prepare thoroughly for each of their classes. Make sure to review and improve your notes timely to make them easy to understand for the students. Number 12, give anonymous feedback on student behavior. For every student, you should create a strategy for managing the student's behavior. Give constructive feedback anonymously so that students don't get embarrassed in front of others. Moreover, any criticisms doesn't discourage the student and instead leaves a scope for their betterment. I am now going to look at what to do following a disruption. While many disruptions are minor and can be dealt with in the moment, it can be beneficial to both document the incident and follow up with the student. Documenting what you experienced and the steps you took will be helpful if you need to pursue a violation of student code of conduct. For minor disruptions, an email can serve as both the tool to remedy the behavior and to document the incident. In the email, you should include the observed behavior, your expectations for class and how they differ from the observed behavior, and the consequences of continued disruption. If the disruptions continues, you should contact your immediate senior for appropriate next steps. Keeping them in the loop regarding behavior of concern is always recommended. In some cases, a meeting with the student is required to discuss the behavior in more depth, explore appropriate solutions, and set clear guidelines and consequences. Now picture this: a teacher who successfully navigated through a sea of misbehavior and emerged victorious. This success story showcases the impact of effective classroom management. It is testament to the fact that with patience, persistence, and the right tools, even the most challenging behaviors can be addressed and improved. Proactive approaches to managing student behavior are very important. By setting a tone early on, establishing clear expectations, and using positive reinforcement, teachers can create a harmonious classroom where learning thrives. Lastly, I want to hear from you viewers. Share your experiences in dealing with students' misbehavior in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to hit on that subscribe button for more educational content. Together we can make a positive change in the world of education. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.